What's going on, YouTube? So this is going to be NFL announcers, and it's the quarterback edition. Phil Simms versus Don Meredith. Oh wow, this one is going to be real intriguing because Phil Simms, um, both of these guys had quite interesting careers. Phil Simms was CBS. Now you know he got replaced by Tony Romo. They moved him to the studio, but him and Jim Nance were really good. He had a very distinctive voice, and and a good overview of the game. I would say one of those guys that uh knowledgeable and could present himself and definitely was a real good student of the game. um he was coached by Bill Parcells, so he comes in tough minded and he has a mindset in what he's doing. So I definitely respected his knowledge and where he was. um he presented some interesting thoughts and balance and perspectives when you were listening to him, talking about the game. I think that you definitely got, good parts about him and what they represented and everything. So uh, definitely put himself in a good position when he was analyzing games and going through game film and game tape. It's one of those guys that definitely um, credible, and you can listen to him and he definitely resonates. And those things are fundamental, what I would call a fundamentally sound announcer who played the game. you know um you get a good perspective about what he is able to do and how it's implemented and concepts and the texture. So I definitely think that that's one of the best things that I without a doubt can say about him as an announcer. I think he did a very very good, very well detailed. We get to Don Meredith, though. Don Meredith played with the Dallas Cowboys, and of course, Tom Landry was the coach. And Don Meredith was a good quarterback and had a lot of personality. Like, you have to have a certain personality. When he was in there with Frank Gifford and Howard Cosell on the Monday Night Football, you had to have a certain kind of, you know, you definitely had to have a certain kind of swag about you. Your style had to be on point because you were gonna get ate up. And a cat like Cassell, would love to chew on former athletes, But he definitely held his own. The Dandy Don definitely had charisma in that booth, And he was one of those guys that of the Monday Night Football cats, he probably was one of my favorites. Bar none. He was way up there because I remember the way he carried himself, and he had a certain aura as an announcer. And see, one of the things about it is this: you can definitely be articulate, and you can be, how you are spoke, when you talk, but it doesn't mean that you connect. Sometimes your wording and your vibe may not work. You might just be dull like paint. So, but I will say this about him: I thought that he definitely was knowledgeable, funny, and start singing the parties over. He. You know what? Dare I say he was kind of like, well, from the humor perspective, because he didn't go at nobody like that, but from a humor perspective, he was kind of like a precursor to Charles Barkley in a way because his style really emoted. If you remember, it's to crack me up when he did Monday Night Football. So if you're asking me out of Phil Simms and Don Meredith, who I like better as announcer, is Don Meredith. I liked his aura and the way he vibed more. But Phil Simms is a knowledgeable cat, though. Don't get it twisted. He ain't no dodo. But it's just that sometimes different people move for different reasons. So anyway, please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another, and share it if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.